Hello all. So today I am homesick. Please be amazing for the sub. We are going to continue to move forward with notes. We've just got 1 page of notes to do today. So grab out your notes packet if you haven't already. Grab a calculator if you didn't already grab one. It's also not a bad idea to pull out your postulate sheet today. So we don't have any homework assignments that are due today. And we are going to start on page 5 of our notes packets. So, today we are going to be going through what's called the exterior angle theorem for triangles. So, if you take a triangle and if you extend one of the sides of the triangle, what'll end up happening is you'll end up creating what's known as an exterior angle. In this case, it's this right here. And an exterior angle is an angle that is made by extending one of those sides, and then it uses the other side of the triangle. And exterior angles of a triangle have this feature that their measure, so in this case, it's the measure of angle 1, that measure is equal to the measure of the two angles that are inside the triangle but not right next to the exterior angle added together. So measure of angle 1 is equal to measure of angle A plus measure of angle B. You'll notice that I did not use this angle right here, which is right next to it, because that one doesn't get included in the formula. Now, when we look at this then, we're still going to use 3 angles in this formula, similar to yesterday's formula, but we have to pay attention. Are all the angles inside the triangle, or is one of them an exterior angle? So, you're going to see problems that look a little bit similar to yesterday, but they have that exterior angle. So, here's my exterior angle here. Wants me to find the missing angle, which really is just solving for x on these first 2. Always make sure that exterior angle is the one that's equal to the other 2 inside that are added together. But make sure the 2 inside that you're using are the ones not touching that exterior angle. You'll notice that vertex here, and then the exterior angle's vertex is going to be on the 3rd corner of the triangle. So exterior angle equals interior plus interior, but not the ones right next to it. So in this case, x is equal to 85. We could do similar on problem B, but this time the exterior angle is not the x, it's the 150. Equal to 2 angles inside the triangle, not right next to it, are the x and the 104. And we solve for x. Overall, these equations, fairly straightforward, similar to the ones that we did yesterday. Okay, I've changed instructions. These ones are a little more complicated, but the process is the same. And notice I've got an outside angle. That's my exterior angle. That is going to be the one that is on its own in the equation. So its vertex is right here, which means the other two corners of the triangle are the ones that you add up. Now I know in these pictures, they're the only ones that are visible to you. But there will be a time where we will start seeing problems where it will give you this angle as well. And so you got to know which ones to add up. Once we have our equation, we are solving for x. I'm just doing that quickly. I'm showing you all of my work just because I'm not there to explain where the things come from. Problem B, very similar. Exterior angle is the 125. The two interior angles not right next to it are the 16x minus 5 and the 9x plus 5. Make sure you're paying attention to if the variables are on the same or opposite sides of the equal sign. Question A of this section had them on opposite, so I had to do opposite operations to move them. Question B, they're on the same sides. So I have to combine like terms. 16x and 9x together will be 25x. The negative 5 and the 5 will cancel out. Divide by 25, and x will be 5. Last two problems on the page, change the instructions one more time. This set of questions asks me to find the measure of the exterior angle. So, similar an idea to what I already did. I have to find x, but then once I find x, I plug it back in. There's the exterior. Here's the two inside, not right next to it. So, exterior angle equals the two inside, not right next to it, added together. Sometimes you might need to both combine like terms and still have variables on opposite sides of the equal sign. Again, I'm just kind of quickly going through the math. This is typically where I would do the dot, dot, dot. This is what you get for the sake of time. Not doing that here because I want you to see where the math came from in case you have questions with me not being there. And technically, I am also doing that because of the fact that I don't have these figured out and I don't have a calculator with me. So I have to do it all in my head. So please forgive me if I make a mistake somewhere. Now, please do keep an eye on these problems. Particularly, listen to the instructions. The instructions had changed. Remember, this one says find the measure of the exterior angle, so we want to plug it back in. So, I want to plug it back into the exterior angle. That's the one that I've outlined in purple. So, that's the 11x minus 2 So 11 times 12 minus 2. Now, one of the things you're going to see me do is you're going to see me name that angle as well. Remember, when you are naming angles, a single letter name, like we used up here, that works great if there's only one angle that has that name. But exterior angles, like the measure of angle 1 in the formula, the reason that there's a 1 in this picture is to make that formula shorter, because in all technicality, if I want to name the measure of that exterior angle by letters, I would have had to have used the 3-letter name. Because with exterior angles, there is both the outside angle and the inside angle that share a vertex. So I cannot just say angle E. I have to say angle QED or DEQ. And this one you would have gotten 130. Again, last problem, same idea. Outside angle, exterior angle, that's this one, is equal to the inside angles added together that are not right next to it. Again, here's where I would typically be doing my dot, dot, dot. This is what it's equal to. If you want to do that, you can do that. I just legitimately haven't figured these ones out yet. So I'm just writing out all the math. So x would be 8, but the instructions say find the measure of the exterior angle, so make sure you're plugging it back in. The exterior angle on this one is either YCD or DCY. Whatever 6 times 8 plus 13 is, it's 48 plus 13, which is 61 degrees. Okay, overall, some of these problems I went through pretty quickly. If you are not sure where I came up with something, either rewind and watch again, or your classmates are smart people. Ask them where things came from. You are all very capable of the stuff that we did. It's not a bad idea today to also start filling in your postulate sheet, because we've got 2 theorems. We've talked about the triangle angle sum theorem, which said measure of angle A plus measure of angle B plus measure of angle C is equal to 180. This is when you had all interior angles in a triangle. And then today's theorem, measure of angle 1 is equal to measure of angle A plus measure of angle B. Focusing in on using that exterior angle. Today's assignment is a worksheet, but it is both of these theorems are going to be mixed together on the sheet. Here, let me pull up that worksheet quick. You'll notice that when it gets to the solve portion, on some of the problems, it gives you an exterior angle. On some of the problems, all of the angles are inside the triangle. So you're going to have to switch back and forth between the formulas. So please pay attention to that. When you get to the back, it wants you to find the measure of angles. This section says the measure of angle A. It's the only angle that has a letter on it. And then on this section, it says the measure of angle, and then it lists the angle. So like this one wants YWV, while this one wants angle S. So do pay attention to which one it wants. As always, be sure to show your work. But today's assignment, (5.1) day 2. Today is the 4th. Homework's due on Friday because we don't have school tomorrow. 5.1, and it's labeled worksheet 2 because it's for day 2. Again, be amazing for the sum.